All right, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Whew, got cold. We got we got a lot to talk about. We got breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Geez, uh, this news just came in about an hour ago. You see my title. Trump warns Iran. Um, we got a lot going on right now. News is coming in. Reports of China and Taiwan. Bear with me, everybody. This news is coming in on the 29th. I know today's the 28th, but this is China. Reports from China Coast Guard. China's conducting military drills around Taiwan. Let me repeat. Drills. Now, these drills have been done before. What is going on? Why are we having China and Taiwan? What this about? This is reports that are coming in. Welcome in, welcome in. Trump is also warning Iran and had Netanyahu today at Mar-a-Lago. We're going to listen into this, and I'm going to try my best to get the reports of China and Taiwan, as this is news coming in about an hour ago. Welcome in, everybody. They've taken down the videos China has, and this has to do with, first of all, welcome in, everybody. Bear with me. I'm outside. It got cold here. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope everybody's doing okay. Let me report. There has not been any kind of bombs or anything like that at Taiwan. Trump is, this is news to the White House. Taiwan, December 29th, their time, are running these drills. There's 20 million people that live, and I believe 20 million people live in Taiwan, and there's conducting these drills. And what's this all about? Well, there's news coming in from China that reports on China that has to do with U.S. is supporting Taiwan and money being sent to Taiwan. What in the world is going on? And also, Putin right now, after the meeting yesterday, is sending missiles over to Ukraine. Whew, we have a mess. We have a little bit to talk about. Get your coffee. I know it's late. I'm trying to get in as much information as I can, but let's listen in here. Welcome in, Ozzy. Welcome in, moderators. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. Let's listen in first, where Trump takes questions on Israel, Netanyahu today. This happened earlier today. We'll listen to this, and then I'm going to try to get the reports. Now, again, this is all coming out of about an hour ago from China. What in the world is going on? Are we heading to a World War III? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Air base in Taiwan. Whoa! Planes are taking off. Planes are taking off from China to Taiwan. Long-range missiles, I repeat, long-range missiles over to Taiwan. Again, December 29th, which is, I guess, morning hours of China and Taiwan. This is a warning to Taiwan. Let me repeat. This is not unusual. They've been doing this last couple years, but this is the closest they've been, China and Taiwan and the island. Okay, this is reports coming in. They're surrounding, I repeat, they're surrounding Taiwan. China is. Whoa! What in the world's going on? Pray. This, this is actually coming in from China. Let's listen in a little bit here. I got some footage earlier today. Let's see what's going on here. This was the meeting today. There's the two presidents.
I just heard about it, actually, but I don't know about it. That would be too bad. That would not be good.
That would be not good.
Talk this morning. I waited till this morning
Get something
in
to
Russia
drink.
at 2:30 in the morning. And we had a very good talk. We spoke at 8 o'clock in the morning our time. And it was a very productive talk. I mean, we have a few very thorny issues, as you can imagine. He knows about thorny issues probably better than anybody in the world, but it's working out. We have a couple of issues that we're going to get resolved, hopefully, and if we get them resolved, you're going to have peace. You're going to have Ukraine losing 26,000 soldiers a month. Can you believe it? A month, 26,000 young, beautiful soldiers, and plus some people in Kiev. And
Yes, that's correct, Ozzy. 100%.
You know, still people. And it's
But-
a lot of people.
We're going to talk.
26,000 soldiers were killed last month. Yes, Chris.
President Trump, are you going to allow Turkish forces, and do you expect Turkish forces to be stationed in Gaza?
So I have a great relationship with President Erdogan, and we'll be talking about it. And if it's good, I think that's good. And a lot will be having to do with Bibi. We're going to be talking about that. But Turkey's been great, and he's been, you know, excellent as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you. To me, he's been very good.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Prime Minister Netanyahu and how important it is for you to see him be pardoned by the Israeli president.
Look, he's a wartime prime minister. He's done a phenomenal job. He's taken Israel through a very dangerous period of.
I will take some comments in a little bit.
Israel.
Thank you, moderators,
Other
for being
people
here. Crystal,
that
shout out to
exist right
Crystal.
now, if you want to know the truth, that's a pretty big statement, but it's true. I feel that you had the wrong prime minister. Israel right now would not exist.
I'm going to pause that for a little bit. Welcome everybody in. I'll take some comments. This is earlier. I appreciate you guys coming in here. This was earlier today with President Netanyahu. Right now with Iran is starting their shit again. Now with Iran, not to mix everybody up, there's talks that Iran, remember the missile we took out in the middle of the night, like they never hit them? Iran don't have much, but the reports are coming in right now shout out to our mini moderator, Isabel. Appreciate Isabel. That reports that Iran are making more nukes, and they're ready to and this is what they're talking about. You're going to hear Trump talk about it. They're making more nukes, and it's in the oven, so to speak. And they're not playing around. And Trump is warning Iran. And he's saying, you better not, because we'll just go ahead and, we'll destroy him again. But in the last 45 minutes or an hour, as Ozzy, our loyal subscriber, says, this is not unusual with these drones and missiles from China and Taiwan. However, this is the closest they've been in Taiwan. Reports are coming out from China and their Coast Guard. We are surrounding Taiwan. Well, what's this got to do with everything? Well, these are reports. I'm only reporting from China. China says the U.S. is giving billions of dollars to Taiwan and supporting Taiwan and their military. I don't know how true this is. This is all coming in. They're surrounding Taiwan. Now, there's been videos out earlier, but they've taken them down, China. And let me repeat, there hasn't been any human beings attacked. There's no ground forces intact. Appreciate everybody welcome in. However, China military drills are around Taiwan. Oh, whoa. Hold on. I might got some. Whoa. Hold on. Stay with me for a few seconds, guys. Please. Let me see what we got here. Okay. China military drills around Taiwan. China conducts military drills around Taiwan. What in the world is going on? Is this true? Well, these are reports that were out about an hour ago on December 29th. I know it's the 28th here in the United States, but the 29th in China. Long range. I know I'm repeating myself, but there's new audience coming in. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal. Like and subscribe if you are new. Air base in Taiwan, planes are taking off, drones are being shot or drones are being over Taiwan. And I quote, China says, warning. It's a warning. Thank you for the disco lighting. I appreciate all donations. And once again, if you're new to this channel, we're able to forward these donations to the homeless. So we appreciate all your sponsorship on this Monday in the United States, Tuesday morning in Taiwan, China, where they're conducting these missiles and drones. Again, it's not unusual, but the reports are coming out. This is the closest it's ever been. And also, there was a meeting today with President Netanyahu meeting Trump. Now, also yesterday, a lot going on. Trump had President Zelensky at Mar-a-Lago and trying to end a war that we should never been in for 4 years. Like World War II, it never ends, and Trump is continuing to try to end that war. However, ladies and gentlemen, just today, Russia is shotting bombs over to Ukraine, and Ukraine shooting back at Russia. So just when a meeting was held and 2.5 hours of a telephone conversation with Vladimir Putin, right, that Trump was pretty confident that they were going to agree on ending a war, could be a couple weeks. It might not happen at all. But all of a sudden, today, they still conduct a war. And many, many people are losing their lives. And it's a shame. So we have that going on. And then the military drills around Taiwan, as well as Iran is reports that, and Trump said, I hope it's not true, but in Iran, they're making more nuclear bombs that could take a while. And Trump's hoping that those reports are false, but if they are real, then Trump won't waste any time. Our president, our great president Donald Trump, will go ahead and just do the same thing and destroy them. So welcome in. I'll read some comments real quick. Got cold. I should have done this video inside. It was a little warmer. Here in Vegas, it's gotten cold. All right. Read some comments here. Appreciate you guys being here on this Monday. I'm going to finish a cigar and read some comments as they come in. We have 115 in the chat. Thank you so much for all the likes that are popping in. If you're new, we appreciate you liking and subscribing and supporting this channel as we are doing the best we can here to get the most updated news on. If this is real with China and these drills, who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen with that? Warning, warning, warning. Once again, they're surrounding Taiwan. And you know, China supports Iran. We all know that, right? China supports Iran. Let's not forget that. And, I don't know if this has anything to do with Trump, trying to end the war with Russia and Ukraine, or this has to do, what I'm reading though, is the reports I'm reading is China's pissed off. In plain English, China's mad because they assume that U.S., our president, is funding or helping out Taiwan. So World War III, I mean, are we heading to a disaster here? Or is Trump going to keep everything just nicely nice and try to end this war with Russia and Ukraine? I mean, he's doing the best he can. Whew, wow. Hi from UK. Welcome in, UK. Welcome in, anybody. Welcome in, everybody. Let us know where you're coming in from. Is anybody hearing anything else that I haven't report on these drills in Taiwan and China? Tell you what we'll do. Let's listen in a little bit of earlier today with President Netanyahu and Trump and Mar-a-Lago after yesterday. You know, Trump is continuing, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to, at the end of the day, in my opinion, he's trying to keep world safe, Europe safe, United States safe, end this war in Ukraine, in Russia. And it's very difficult, very, very difficult. You know, you're dealing with Putin, who's nuts, dealing with China that is just money hungry. And they made it very clear they don't like us. It's nothing new. When I say China, not the people, but the government. Crazy stuff happening here towards the new year. Crazy. Again, these are reports that are coming out from China, from their Coast Guard and from the China government. I repeat. China is conducting military drills around Taiwan, which is nothing new. However, this is the closest they've ever been. They're surrounding Taiwan. And let's listen in. This was earlier. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody's support.
They were met with a force, the likes of which very few countries could have handled, and we worked together, and we were extremely victorious, to put it mildly. Now I hear that Iran is trying to build up again, and if they are, we're going to have to knock them down.
Well, knock them down.
We'll knock the hell out of them, but hopefully that's not happening. I heard.
We'll knock them down. We'll knock the hell out of them. He's referring to Iran. If you didn't hear, we'll go back.
Now I hear that Iran is trying to build up again, and if they are, we're going to have to knock them down. We'll knock them down. We'll knock the hell out of them, but hopefully that's not happening. I heard Iran wants to make a deal. If they want to make a deal, that's much smarter. You know, they could have made a deal the last time before we went through, a big attack on them, and they decided not to make the deal. They wish they made that deal. So I think, again, they should make a deal. They want to make a deal, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Yeah, please.
Mr. Tampag, Nadav Melech, 24 News Israel. Would you support the overthrow of the Iranian regime?
Who?
Iranian regime.
I'm not going to talk about overthrow of a regime. It's they've got a lot of problems that are in. They have tremendous inflation. Their economy is bust. Their economy is no good. And I know that people aren't
Yes,
so happy,
American
but don't forget,
first.
Every time they have a riot or somebody forms a group, little or big, they start shooting people. They kill people. And the people tend to... I've watched this for years. There's tremendous discontent. They form 100,000, 200,000 people. All of a sudden, people start getting shot. And that group disbands pretty quickly. So I watched it for years. They're vicious, vicious people, yeah.
Mr. President, will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
If they will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast. Okay. One will be yes, absolutely. The other was, we'll do it immediately.
Mr. President, Yohanna Farm from Channel 12 News. What are your plans regarding Gaza for the next few weeks?
Well, we're going to be dealing on Gaza. That's why this very great prime minister is here right now. We're talking about Gaza. We're talking about a lot of things. We have about 5 major subjects that we're discussing, and Gaza will be one of those subjects.
Mr. President, can you guarantee that the last hostages, unfilled, will be released before we'll continue to the second phase of the Gaza plan?
Well, let's put it this way. Every hostage just about that's been released was released because of me, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, my whole team, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth. They were all released because of us. None were released in the Biden administration. None. They were all released because of us. Then we had a lack of releases with respect to the dead. And all of a sudden they started coming back because I said, nope, you said you could do. We have one wonderful young man whose parents are right now inside.
Sorry, guys.
And he's, what beautiful parents, a beautiful brother, sister, and like a beautiful family, and they're waiting for their son. It's the only one left, and we're doing everything we can to get his body back. And the parents just said, hopefully he's alive. And I said, I love you to think that way. Okay?
President Trump, do you have President Trump?
Out of all of these people, and I'm not just talking about the final 20.
Right.
Look at all of the people. What do you think the total number is?
255.
255.
254 came out, one more.
Think of that. And we got them all.
President Trump, President Trump, does the reconstruction of Gaza, President Trump, does the reconstruction of Gaza will begin even before Hamas is disarmed?
I think it's going to begin pretty soon, yeah.
Before
He's looking forward to it, so am I. Look, what a mess. What a mess it is. And it's been a mess for centuries, really. It's been a mess for a long time. It's seems to be born for that, but we're gonna straighten it out. No, we're already starting certain things. We're doing things for sanitary conditions and others. But Gaza's a tough place. You know the expression, it's a tough neighborhood. It's truly a tough neighborhood. Yeah, you had a question in the back? Go ahead. Yeah, please, go ahead.
I'm asking about the relationship between you and the Prime Minister.
What about it?
They said that there is no relationship, good relationship between you.
I don't think it can be better. We just won a big war together. You know, if we didn't beat Iran, you wouldn't have had peace in the Middle East because nobody would have been able, the Arab countries who have been fantastic, would not have been able to make a deal. If we didn't wipe out their nuclear, we wiped it out. If we
Exactly.
didn't wipe out with our beautiful B-2 bombers, if we didn't, and we sent a lot of Tomahawks in there also, by the way, from a submarine.
And what about the pardon that the president gives?
Amen, Chris.
To the Prime Minister?
A pardon?
Pardon.
Oh, I think he will. How do you not? He's a wartime prime minister who's a hero. How do you not give a pardon? You know, I think it's a very hard thing not to do it. I spoke to the president, and it's on. I mean, he tells me it's on its way.
Mr. President.
Can't do better than that, right? Please.
Can I follow up on Venezuela? Was the facility taken out by the U.S. military, or was it another entity like the CIA?
Well, I don't want to say that. I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say who it was. But you know, it was along the shore.
Mr. President, have you or anyone of your administration talked to Maduro in recent days?
Well, I spoke to him
Recently?
pretty recently, reasonably, but nothing much comes of it. Yeah.
Ken, how are you, Ken?
You have to understand what he's done. They've sent billions of dollars of drugs in. But maybe just as bad, they've sent hundreds of thousands of people in.
We
from
love
jails
Trump.
and prisons, from
How many
mental
people in the chat
institutions
love
insane
Donald Trump?
asylums,
Our 48th
drug
president,
lords,
huh?
the drug dealers.
What a leader.
Sent into our country. But think of it, what he's done. Tren de Aragua, probably the worst gang. They cut off people's fingers. One man made a phone call to complain about them. He cut off their hand. They cut off his hand. Don't ever make a phone call again. We'll cut off your hand. After that, we'll kill you, they said. That was in Colorado. They sent in all of the bad ones. They sent in some bad people. And that to me was just terrible. And they send in drugs. Now, I will say this, 97% of the drugs coming in by sea stopped. We're trying to figure out who the other 3% are. They have a hard time getting people to pilot those boats. But 97% of the drugs coming in by the ocean, by the sea, by water, are gone. Every boat that we take out, we save 25,000 lives of Americans.
Wow.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you. We're going to have a big meeting, and we'll see you in a couple of hours if you'd like. And if you'd like, you can come up and have lunch like you did yesterday. Would you like that or not? Do you want that? Because some of them think it's terrible. It's a bribe. But, you know, a bribe for $25, I don't know. If you'd like, you can go. And if you don't, you can stand in a driveway and melt. All right? But if you want, will you work on that, Margot?
Yes, sir.
Is Margot doing a good job? She's a star. She's too nice. Her only problem, she's too nice to you. And you're not nice to us, but that's okay. Margot, take them up and have a beautiful lunch, and we'll see you later.
All right. So that was earlier.
It's not good. I heard about it this morning.
That was earlier. Welcome in,
Don't stress
everybody.
about
That was
spills and
earlier
scuffs on your floors this season. Go ahead.
where they're discussing about Iran. They're starting their nukes again. I'll read some comments in a little bit. So that there, that green, that's Taiwan. So what's happening is we got a lot going on. Donald Trump is, thank God he's our president. I mean, imagine if Trump wasn't our president right now. Just take a second and digest that. But China is conducting military drills around Taiwan. These were reports that came in about an hour and 10 minutes ago now. And these drills are nothing unusual. However, regarding this reports coming out of China, it all has to do with money that they think. They're not sure. Again, that's up to you guys. I don't have, all the details. There were some reports out earlier, but they took them down. China did. China's conducting military drills around Taiwan, but they're getting just the closest they ever been. And China, pretty much, they're just pissed. They assume, we don't know for sure, that the U.S., United States, are sending money, lots of money, like billions, to Taiwan. And, China is, are backing up Iran. So, this could be a big mess, or maybe just a little bit of this, that, whatever. However, if it's true, going back to Iran, and they are building nukes again. Remember, we took them out a couple months ago. You heard Trump say, we'll take them out. We'll knock them out. Boom. We'll knock them out again. Because that's what a president does. We doesn't start wars, but we're going to protect our nation. We don't want any nukes and threats in the next couple of months or years to come. We don't want it. And at the same time, Trump is continue to work hard. He doesn't have to, protecting Ukraine and Russia to end that war. But meanwhile, after a 2.5-hour conversation yesterday on a Sunday and welcome in Zelensky again, and both presidents are very confident that this war could end in a few weeks, that we should never been in. But after that, today, both Russia and Ukraine are, still shooting up, bombing each other territories. And it's sad because Trump said yesterday, we covered it live. Trump says, we don't want people to die. We don't need anything from Ukraine or Russia. And a lot of people, what's your comments? Should we just go ahead and wash our hands of it? Is this going to be Trump's last try on ending a war for 4 horrible, terrible years? Or should we just go ahead and just say, hey, enough is enough. We did what we could do. We had Putin in check when President Trump was president. Then the Russia hoax came from crooked Hillary. Should we just wash our hands and of that? Is that going to get us in a situation in a World War III? In the chat, yes or no? Two questions, 2 parts. Should we wash our hands and just forget making peace over there? Or should we continue to involve the United States and ending and trying to have a ceasefire or a long solution on ending that? On that, what's your thoughts? What do you think? I mean, there is people losing their lives, right, on Russia and Ukraine. I'm gonna get some water. I'll read some comments. I hate to say it. I hate to sound like a broken record. And I know there's a lot of people in here who don't like Donald Trump, and that's fine. I don't know how you can't. Well, I can understand why you might not like him, because a lot of people are brainwashed, but I don't know how you can't support taking out Iran. I mean, if Iran is true in doing this, I can't understand why people are not for Trump on that, to keep us safe. Our other president, our administration did nothing but start wars and start all this. And it's their fault. The auto pen that was run by Barack Obama, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, and a bunch of other people, and Joe Biden, who didn't know what the hell they were doing. They had no clue how to run the United States, right? And now you have a president who cares about us, business, smart, not perfect. Only Jesus is perfect. Ozzy Crosby, welcome in. I mean, if we didn't have Trump as president right now, they'd be kicking our ass. China will still be ripping us off. We'd probably be in World War III. Who knows what would happen in United States soil? Beautiful flags behind us. Do we love the American flag? Do we love keeping the United States safe? And also, don't we love not to be ripped off? 40 years from all these other presidents, Bush, Clinton, Barack Obama, who started this mess, and now we're trying to keep us safe and money be exchanged, common sense, protecting our borders. We're not going to put up with it. We're not going to. Now, for those who are just coming in, we have a couple reports coming out. China conducting military drills around Taiwan with drones. Reports coming out of the China Coast Guard surrounding Taiwan, thinking that the United States, U.S., has given money to Taiwan, which I can't actually say it's true or false. You know, I just don't have reports. The reports, different reports coming out. Some reports are saying, yes, we did give money to Taiwan. Other reports are saying, no, it's false. You know, we're not sending money to Taiwan. This is all coming in about an hour and a half ago. All on this Monday, right before New Year's Eve. But the reports of, a lot going on, bear with me. The reports of Iran making nukes could be true. But not to worry, folks, because, you know, Trump is playing chess. For those who are new, we use that term, playing chess. He's not only playing chess, he's playing 3-4 pieces ahead. Okay, you're not going to hear everything. I'm sure Trump knows exactly where China stands. He knows where Taiwan stands. He knows where Ukraine stands. Can't trust Putin. See, I'm going to welcome in some subscribers. Adrian, surprised you're not in a meeting. No meetings this week. No meetings, Adrian. Trump is getting played like a fiddle. Read some comments. Hey, thank you for being here. All I ask for is no threats on anybody else in here. Trump will do what he's told. Trump will do what he thinks is right for America. Appreciate your comment. All right. By the way, once again, if you're new to the channel, we do support struggling homeless that are struggling here in Las Vegas. So any of the proceeds and memberships, donations will forward and help us forward it to help out the struggling Americans living in Las Vegas. So we appreciate all your support, like and subscribe. Best businessman, Trump. I agree with that. He is it's been a long day. He's a president we've never seen before. A lot of people say he has bad language. I don't mean like bad language coming out of his mouth, but bad language. No, it's not bad language. Trump is everything we always wanted. He's us. You know, I still don't think he's a Republican or a Democrat. You know what I mean? I know he has the R there. We all get it. He is a voice for every American, every Republican, every independent, every Democrat, every straight, gay, white, black, Hispanic. He's everything that we wanted to say to the media, fake news, everything that should have been done millions of years ago. I mean, seriously. You know, he's not standing looking pretty, wearing high heel shoes, beautiful ties. Well, he has to have a tie on, right? I guess he doesn't have to. He is one of us. We stand behind Donald Trump, right? Yes or no? We stand behind the president. Once again, if you're coming in, oh, here we go, one of those mega stations. No, it's a common sense station. That's what it is. Make America great again, make American common sense again. We stand behind a president, a leader, who's not perfect, But I tell you what he is perfect of, no fear. You want to start bombs and making more nukes? We'll take them out. We'll take them out while you're sleeping. We won't hurt anybody there. We're just going to eliminate all your nukes. Go ahead and make them again. Keep doing it. And we'll just keep, as long as Trump's president, or Marco Rubio, or J.D. Vance, or any other, not any other. I take that back, but the men I just said, it won't happen. Now, if we get one of these radical AOCs, or Pete Buttigieg, or Gavin Newsom, yes, we're going to be worse than ever. God forbid our next generation. So yes, I stand behind Donald Trump, who's not perfect. I'd rather have somebody who's not 100% perfect, who the hell is, than a false or a unbalanced committee that wasn't even, Biden was not ever running this nation, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll take Trump. Once again, China conducted military drills around Taiwan. Air base, and I can't pronounce this, but this is earlier, Hanchu Air Base, Hanchun Air Base in Taiwan. This is happening. Pretty much it's still happening, what I understand. So we got a couple events happening here on this Monday in the United States and early morning hours in Taiwan. China's conducting military drills around Taiwan, surrounding the whole island. I'll read some more comments here. All right. Israel first? No. You know who's first? Is the United States of America. The flag's behind me. We're always first, right? Protecting our United States. Negotiating with the other countries. And by the way, majority of the Europeans are all for ending the war because they know many people are dying and it's not good. War's never good for finances. It's not good. Germany, number one. Somebody said. Actually, Germany's doing a much better job. Their banking system, they're learning from us on the Germany thing. But yeah, United States is first. Israel's not first. Ukraine's not first. Italy's not first. Germany's not. We're here. If you live in the United States, then we always should be we should always be first. We're the richest, best military in the world. And nobody's going to attack us. Not under Trump. Not under Marco Rubio, our next president, or J.D. Vance. Never. Now, some of these radical Democrats, absolutely. We're in danger. Now, if you're just coming in, a couple things happening. China conducting military drills around Taiwan. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but for the new audience that's coming in and out. Trump met with Netanyahu today. Iran is talking about and releasing more hostages, but Iran is playing hardball. They don't want to negotiate with the United States and are possible conducting and making new nukes. Nukes in Iran. Not good, if that's true. We'll take them out. We don't want that. We don't want any nuclear bomb threats from Iran. They're nothing anyhow. I mean, if we wanted to, we could take them right out. But Trump just wants to take out the nukes to keep us safe. You know, when Trump's not with us anymore. That's all. China and Russia are protecting Iran. I'm reading comments here. They're going to destroy the West. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here on this Monday, Tuesday in some places. Whoa. Hold on. What do we got here? This is from, yeah, this. Wow. So this is happening a little earlier, or maybe even now, or 52 minutes ago, with China and Taiwan. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, yeah, so these are videos. I can't play the audio because, I mean, I don't know how many people in here can understand Chinese, but this was earlier with the military drills. They didn't look like drills to me, though. They look like drills to you? They did not look like drills. What are we talking about? These are drills. China, excuse me, with Taiwan. See, I don't. If I play the audio, I'll probably get some. This is crazy. 54 minutes ago. 54 minutes ago. That looks like that's boots on grounds there, doesn't it? That looks like boots on ground. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, this is, I don't know, guys. Take it what it's worth. Are we heading into a World War III in the chat? Yes or no? Are we heading into World War III? Whew. Yeah, this is some footage I got coming in here. This is China military. I don't know. Are we heading into World War III with China, Taiwan? That doesn't look like that's drills to me. Let me make this clear. I haven't heard anybody, any humans losing their lives, but they have Taiwan surrounded on December 29th. It's already the 29th. There's about 20 million people or so that live in Taiwan. About 20 million. Did I say trillion? Excuse me. 20 million. Again, that didn't look like they were conducting military drills from those footage. I'll see if I can get some more. That happened about 55 minutes ago. Yes, I live in Las Vegas and it gets cold here. Cold in Vegas today. Let me get some water. Yeah, I get that a lot, that I look like Jeffrey Epstein. Are you the same person? Let me make it clear. Jeffrey Epstein is unalive. Do I look like him? You guys think I look like Jeffrey Epstein in the chat? Get that a lot. Let's see what else we have. I met Sinatra on that Rack Pack comment. I try to read as many comments as I can. You know, if you really have an important comment and you want me to answer, if I could, you can donate. We'll forward that over to the homeless population here in Las Vegas. I'll read some I agree on comments, some I disagree, some that make some sense. Yeah, we don't know about another war. These are reports that are coming out from the China Coast Guard and government that they are the reason they're doing this, and I don't know how true it is. It's all about money. It's all about, they assume that the United States, the U.S. is giving Taiwan money to support their military and among other things. But again, I can't say it's true or not. You know, I haven't. Some reports are saying no, it's not, and some reports are saying yes. So here's the ghost card. Thank Thank you for the donation. That's the Coast Guard I was talking about. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. All right. What else do we have? Republican versus Democrats. Taiwan is Chinese. All I ask for is don't repeat the comment. One time only. If we see repeats, our moderators will block it, and then you'll be blocked. How do I feel about the Epstein files? We talked about that many times. Now, I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. I hope everybody's doing well and had a great Christmas. Once again, if you're coming in, China's conducting military drills around Taiwan. Coast Guard has made it clear that they're surrounding Taiwan. Could we be heading into a World War III in a comment? Yes or no? Netanyahu today is unhappy with Iran. That war is a religious war. They hate Israel. Should Trump be involved in that as well? Yes or no? I'm just reporting. That's all I'm doing. Of course, yesterday. Oh, so this is on the 29th. Hold on. So this here says December 29th, which is tomorrow for the United States. So this is all drills. This is crazy. You can see the date there. December 29th, 2025. I hate to confuse everybody, but we have a couple topics we're talking about this evening. And I have to say, this is breaking news and important news. Should we be worried? Should we be worried? Yeah. So we'll have to see what Trump has to say on this. I'm sure Trump is up. You know, he doesn't sleep much. He's the last one to go to sleep and first one to wake up. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Yes, Americans should always be first. Protecting our military. Hey, shout out to the veterans and our vets who are fighting each and every day to keep America safe. I was going to say, yesterday, President Trump welcomed on a Sunday at Mar-a-Lago President Zelensky, and he was pretty confident that they were getting closer to ending a 4-year war between Ukraine and Russia. We're talking about that. Also, to conduct the military drills around Taiwan. Some people are saying we're heading to World War III. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Does this have anything to do with Trump stepping in to end the war with Ukraine and Russia? Is this all related all together? Or is this something because of China just mad at U.S. and Trump because he's funding Taiwan, which we don't know if it's true, or it's just, or either, that just China is just conducting these drills, keeping Taiwan in check? Could it be just as simple of that China is making it clear that, hey, we're China, we're not messing around, and we're going to continue with these drills. But let me make it clear. This is the closest or most I've heard of these drills around Taiwan probably in the last couple years. So if it's true, it's pretty serious. Because Taiwan ain't going to put up with it, right? And what do we do? What does the United States do in the chat? I'm asking you guys, what do we do on this? Do we step in and make a statement to China? Or do we wait? Or do we just sit back and we'll wait and see what happens? We'll have to wait and see, or what? Dangerous world we're living in, a subscriber said, Kevin. Thank you, moderators, for being here. Appreciate you guys. That's another situation we have with Venezuela. Thank you for that comment. Eliminate poison from coming in the United States. Which I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. We don't want poison here, right? We don't want narcotics. We don't want that to lead to trafficking, sex trafficking. That's all it does. It leads to that. So we're also working on taking out their boats in Venezuela. We got that also going on for a couple months now. Not to mention we're keeping our borders safe, fighting crime in the United States. Crime is down here in Las Vegas, the best it's been in many years. Crime is down a lot. Because of why? Because of our president keeping the cities and states and crime better. Not perfect, but better. All right. Let's see here. Venezuela has nothing to do. That comment there. We lost that comment. Sorry about that. I think it said something about drugs and oil. Trump's after. Speak on the Epstein files. Epstein files are out. There's photos of Bill Clinton with these young ladies, and Trump defended Bill Clinton on that. I don't know if we're ever going to know the facts on that, you know, unfortunately, for those women. But I can tell you this, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. In my belief, I don't think Trump, Clinton, probably any living president was involved. Now, again, on the Epstein files real quick, I'll just talk about this real quick, one time only. There could be Republicans and Democrats, senators, governors, probably movie stars, athletes who are in that island. And even if they were, they have to prove it that they participated in these horrific acts. So, you know, were the Epstein files fumble with Pam Bondi? Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. Did the last administration do anything on the Epstein files? Absolutely nothing. They didn't know what the hell was going on. Oh, they did know one thing. They did know how to open up the borders and bring in more crime and murderers and rapists, right? But, you know, the last administration, they knew about the Epstein files and they never released them. And some would say because there was Democrats involved. Some would say they were just too stupid. Either way, the administration had to go. Whether they were in on it, participated in on it, in Italian, whether you did it, you cheated, you wrong. Either way, you got to go. But they had plenty of chances, just like they had plenty of chances to fix our health care with these tax credit, with Obamacare, which was shit, which was horrible, was nothing to help Americans, Obamacare, and it shut down our nation for 42 days and did nothing to resolve that. They had 42 days to help and make a health care, both sides, and both sides did absolutely nothing. But now there's reports, if you're coming in, like and subscribe, Trump is trying to revise that and have a savings plan for Americans to make drug prices cheaper here in the United States, which no other president has done or tried to do. So he's also working on that, and I think it's going to happen. We got tax rebates coming up in 2026. He's doing that. So when you file your taxes, don't be surprised that you're going to get, for those who are paying taxes, probably going to be paying a lot less. And for those who are receiving money, probably going to get a lot more. Lots of tax credits for seniors and newborns and young people and hybrid cars, electric vehicle cars, and gas prices are down. Our economy is starting to exchange money. It's not perfect yet. We got to bring down groceries if you're new to the channel. But Trump has acknowledged that. No other president will come out and say, yeah, we have a problem with beef. I know that. We're going to make it better. So once again, Trump is one of us, you know, who continues to try. And let me just remind everybody, as we have 88 in here, he hasn't even been president a year yet. Not even 1 year. And look what he's done. And he's made it clear he's already taken out Iran nukes. And if they build them again or make them again, whatever the hell you call it, we'll knock them apart, he goes. We'll take care of that. You know, if it was Biden in the committee, they wouldn't be worried about Iran. They would turn their backs and worry about open borders, destroying them, bringing gas prices up, implementing electric vehicles only. Nothing wrong with electric vehicles, but you know, that's what the administration did. That's the whole reason why gas prices went up. Open up the pipelines and look, we got gas prices down. Even in the West Coast, even in California, gas prices are down. Because of who? President Trump. That's right. No, I didn't see that with Kash Patel. I didn't. What was that comment? Something on Kash Patel? Comments are flying in tonight. Did you see Kash Patel get roasted by the Senate? No, I did not see that. I'm not saying it's false. Yeah. There's reports that I read that Trump's not real happy what's going on with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. And we know that Dan Bongino is out January 1st. He's leaving because he wasn't happy on Pam Bondi, particularly on the Epstein files, and didn't like how she was handling a lot of things. Pam Bondi. Kash Patel, I think Trump has a good relationship, but no, I didn't hear anything about him being roasted. But thank you. Appreciate the comment. I'm not saying it's true, or I just haven't seen it. No, I'm saying Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. You need to listen. Hexet 28. Yeah, maybe. I'm a bigger fan of Marco Rubio. That's just me. But anybody than these radical lefts, right? God forbid we had AOC as president. Whew, imagine that. So once again, the air base in Taiwan is worried as China's conducting these military drills around Taiwan. If you're just coming in late, read some comments. Joe Rogan is a moron. These are comments. I quote, do you support Charlie Kirk? Absolutely. May he rest in peace. What about JFK? Regarding to the truth, I mean, I think most people, as an Italian American, I mean, I think most people know what happened with the JFK. But yes, they should release the information. It hasn't. I'm not going to disagree with you. You know, JFK got elected because of the mob, and then he pretty much turned his back and forgot who elected him, and that's what happened there. All right, what else we have? Yeah, crazy times here. Let's hope that these drills are just drills. And, well, I shouldn't say that, just drills. Let's hope that these drills don't end up being worse in Taiwan. We don't need that. You know, we got a lot of other stuff going on. Let's hope that Trump knows what's going on. Do you support Israel? I support the United States of America. That's who I support. And, all right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, Democrats are, they've destroyed the Democrat Party. Absolutely, he should get the Nobel. I agree with that comment. We will make America great again. I think we have. We will make America even better. You guys wait to the next quarter in around March and wait to like next year around this time. Whoa, it's going to be amazing. Not going to be perfect yet, but I think America is better in less than a year. Don't you hate when you have an itch and you just can't get that itch? All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got over here? What else we got? What else we have? Fight, fight, fight. Trump, that's what he does. Right? Knockout. Kamala was knocked out. If that was a fight with Kamala, he destroyed her in one round. He was Mike Tyson, Rocky Marciano back in the day. Boom. Won't see her no more. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. She will never, ever be back in politics, in my opinion. Never. The Democrats don't want her. She's a scazziata in Italian. Means just unorganized, not a politician. I'm sure she's a good person somewhere. All right, what else do we have? West Virginia, John Denver. John Denver never, John Denver wasn't born in West Virginia. But great song. What else we got? Anything else? Anything that's interesting to pull out of the chat? Christ is King. Amen. Yep. American first, 100%. I stand behind that comment. Hey, thank you so much for being here tonight. Appreciate all the likes and subscribe if you haven't. We try to go live almost every night. We do take some breaks. If you're new, like to subscribe and come on board. China's conducting military drills. Trump trying to end all wars and don't want anything starting. How do I feel about Barack Obama? Second worst president ever. Second. That's right. I said second. Biden committee, number 1. Barack Obama, number 2. Jimmy Carter, number 3. What do you want me to say? Barack Obama started a lot. Barack Obama started all this mess. He started it. He sparked it up. He started the fire, Barack Obama. He was horrible. He was a horrible president. He really was. He screwed up the health care. He started this socialism. He was heading that way, that direction. Yeah, that's true about Carter. Carter did 1 or 2 decent things. Carter wasn't as bad as what we just witnessed. Carter just wasn't a good president, but I don't think he was a corrupted president. He just made a lot of bad decisions, but he did help out the homeless. He did build homes and stuff, so I'll give him an A for that, Jimmy Carter, which we do here. Well, we don't build them homes, but we're heading that way. We help out the homelessness here in Las Vegas. So I'll give him a prop for that, Jimmy Carter. But no, he was not the worst. Opinion on Israel. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. We can't have Iran taking we got to stand behind Israel, right? I don't know what more you want me to say. Do you trust them? No. Do you think I was going to say that? America's always number 1. All right, let me continue. American first. It always should be first. Don't matter who the president is. Republican president. We will have a Democrat president again. Probably not for the next 30 years. We will, but it always should be American first, right? Always. Never forget that. Always protecting American soil, keeping it safe, common sense, protecting our borders, keeping oil prices in check. They're always going to go up, but not like $6, $7, $8 a gallon. Egg prices are up. Trump brought those down. That was a whole nother hoax and craziness with that as well. All right, I'm going to read a few more. Hey, thank you for the likes tonight. I appreciate everyone on here. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. And you got New Year's Eve coming up. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. God first. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. You're right. I agree. But you got to keep American safe. We're alive. We live here. Our children, our grandchildren. We can't have a mess like we had with all these people coming over from other countries. And a lot of people say, hey, Sal, there's some nice people that come over. Absolutely. Legal. Fly here. Don't walk and cheat the system. Come here legally. Go through the process. What the process is, we got to work on that. That's the way it should be. Always should be that way. It's all common sense. All right. Somebody says I'm a nice person. I'm sure you are. God bless. Trump is owned by big tech. You think so? You think so? Charlie Kirk was the truth. I mean, what an incredible man, you know. I didn't agree on everything he said, but, you know, nobody's perfect, but may he rest in peace. Frank, how are you? Yeah, what a year that went by, you know. Charlie Kirk losing his life, capturing a pipe bomber, taking out Iran nukes, closing the borders, and not in that order. Some sad times, some highs. Charlie Kirk went too early. It's a shame. A man who's out there just speaking his opinion and bringing the mic, a YouTube channel, outdoors, and some crazy person taking his life. What else we have? Ice Ice Baby, absolutely. You know, and I go over this conversation earlier, Frank, with ICE agents. People think that ICE agents are all Republicans, are all MAGA. No, they're Democrats too, and they're getting ambushed, and they're doing their job. They're doing their job. Islam sucks. All right, what else comments we have here? Thank you so much for being here. 108 likes, appreciate. Once again, China's conducting military drills for about maybe almost 2 hours now. Just drills, but some of those photos we seen a little while ago didn't look like drills to me. But we'll have to wait and see what the hell unravels tomorrow. I'm just looking up at some of these drills that China has surrounding. Wow, look at this. Taiwan. Someone says I don't care about neither. I tell you what, we don't want that to get out of hand. We don't want a war erupting between China and Taiwan. So I'm sure Trump is already playing chess, and he knows what's brewing over there. You know, I'm sure he's watching very closely what the hell's going on over there. Nothing to do with us. It has a lot to do with us. I mean, it could start involving all the. I mean, it could be a big mess. Let's hope that it's just drills. But all right, guys, I'm gonna log out in a couple minutes here. I'll give everybody a few minutes who are chatting among each other. We'll keep a close eye on this, China and Taiwan, and hope that it doesn't escalate and lead to a war and then involving the United States of America. We'll keep an eye on Russia and Ukraine and hope that I want to be positive that we can end that. Too many people are losing their lives in Russia and Ukraine. There are some people I talk to saying we should not get involved anymore with Russia and Ukraine. What's your thoughts? Yes or no, real quick. Should we wash our hands if Putin in the next 2-3 weeks doesn't stop and Zelensky, the war that's been going on for 4 years? What do you think on that? And then we got to keep a close eye on Iran. If it's true, they're making new nukes. Trump stated about an hour ago. We've seen it. Well, he said it earlier, but we watched it an hour ago. If they do, because I hope it's not true, Trump says. If it's true, then we'll bomb the hell out of them. We'll take them out. Not the people. Let me make it clear. But we'll bomb the hell and take out their nukes. So we keep an eye on that. Keeping our cities and states safe around the United States of America with National Guards. ICE agents safe. What's wrong with that? All right. All right. Now, for those who were chatting among each other, I'll give everybody a few minutes to chat back and say their goodnights. Appreciate each and every one of you on this Monday, Tuesday in China, on this breaking news. A lot of stuff is happening right now. Trump has got his hands full, but you know what? If there's a president who can handle this mess, thank you. Have a good night. If there's any president who can handle this, it's Donald Trump. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, you're always worried when you have missiles and stuff like that happening, but I'm not too worried when we have a president who's a leader, who's a negotiator. I am slightly worried with Russia and Ukraine, because just when you see signs that there's peace being made and Trump is trying his best, right after their telephone conversation for 2.5 hours and Zelensky meeting on a Sunday in Mar-a-Lago, bombs, they start their nonsense with drones again in Russia and Ukraine. It's like, wait a minute, we just talked. We're in Alaska. What's going on? Why are we not just trying to make peace, get some territories and end it? But Russia thinks they own some of the territories in Ukraine. Ukraine says no, it's theirs. And meanwhile, for what? People losing their lives? It's not good. Not good for them. Certainly not good for the countries, and certainly not good for the whole world. So Trump is trying to destroy the country. You really think that's true, what you just said? You think Trump, does anybody else, do you agree with that comment? That Trump's trying to destroy America? What do you think? All right. Somebody says I do. There's people that are going to agree and others who don't. But at the end of the day, Americans should be first. We have a great leader, a president we trust, a president who's speaking for us, who's not perfect, but a hell of a lot better than probably any other president. I'm going to go real strong on in our lifetime. And we had some okay presidents like Clinton and Reagan. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Cold here in Vegas. Everybody be safe. A lot of nasty weather, snowstorms. Have a great rest of your Monday and a great Tuesday ahead and the rest of your week. Have a great New Year's Eve. I will be live tomorrow, I'm sure, covering this situation. Hopefully these drills will be finished, and we'll see. We'll see if Trump comes live tomorrow, and a president who's almost live every day, or at least 3-4 times a week, speaking on this and giving us updates. Should we be worried, or where we stand? And also on Iran, and also the peace with Ukraine and Russia. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. I'm out. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. See ya. All right, bye-bye, guys. Woo.